Hello, here we are again. Okay, it's fractions 4. So we talked about different terms to do with fractions. We talked about mixed numbers, different terms, and we also talked about how to add fractions. So now we're going to talk about subtracting fractions. And in order to subtract fractions, we are just going to sort of follow a little bit of the same rules as adding, okay? So if we're subtracting fractions, we still need to have a common denominator, okay? So we're just make sure you have a common denominator and then you can subtract the fractions. For example, let's see, we have 3/4 minus 1/12. So here we go. We're going to do this horizontally. Now, this is the same thing as doing it this way. You can do it either horizontally or vertically, and you do it the same way. Just looks a little different. So let's see, 4 and 12. 4 goes into 12, so I'm going to change 3/4 to a equivalent fraction with a 12 on the bottom, okay? So 4 times 3 is 12, 3 times 3 is 9, minus 1/12. Now I have a common denominator, so I'm going to subtract the numerators and leave the denominator the same. And that's all there is to it with subtraction. All right, and we're also going to talk about what do we do if we have mixed numbers like 1 1/8 plus 3 3/8. So all you have to do here is you can add the whole number. 1 plus 3 is 4. 1 plus 3 is 4. And we have 4 and 4/8. And remember I told you you're going to reduce. So 4 goes into 4 once. 4 goes into 8 twice. And so my new answer is 4 1/2, and that is the correct answer. How about if we have 4 3/5? 4 3/5 plus 6 1/7. We have two different denominators. So we need to find a common denominator. Okay. 7 times 5 is 35. So I'm going to use 35. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say 5 times 7 is 35. 3 times 7 is 21. And then we have 35 here. So 7 times 5 is 35. 1 times 5 is 5. So now I have the same denominator. So I'm going to add the numerators. 26 over 35. 4 plus 6 is 10. And then I look at this number here, this fraction, and if I can divide something in both the top and the bottom numbers, then I reduce it. If I can't reduce it, then I just leave it this way. Okay, so that's how I add fractions with mixed numbers. And I also do that for subtraction. Now, going back to multiplying fractions, in the previous video, we did just multiplying simple fractions. For example, if I had something like 1/2 times 3/4, I just multiply across. Okay, so that's where it can get confusing. When you're multiplying, you just multiply across. When you are adding or subtracting, you have to have a common denominator. And do you remember how to divide? What if I had 1/2 divided by 3/4? The rule for division is don't divide, right? So we don't divide, we multiply by the reciprocal. All right, so I multiply and then flip and then I divide by 2, divide by 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 3 is 3. And my answer is 2/3. Okay, so when I multiply, I just multiply across. I do not need a common denominator. But what if I had something like 1.5 times 3 and 1/4? Okay, so here I have mixed numbers. When I'm adding, I can just add the fractions and add the whole numbers. When I'm multiplying, I have to change these to improper fractions. So and how I do that is I'm going to multiply my whole number times the denominator. So 1 times 2, and then I'm going to add my numerator. So 1 times 2 is 2, plus 1 is 3. So my answer is 3 over 2. So this is equal to 3 over 2. And this is 3 times 4, which is 12, plus 1 is 13. And then keep the denominator the same. And this is multiplication. Okay, so I have to change from mixed number to improper, and then I can multiply across. So 39 over 8. 39 over 8, and then I divide 8 into 39 goes, okay, 4, and that would be 32, so that'd be 4 and 7/8. And so that is called reducing or simplifying. Okay, so I simplified that fraction. I changed it from an improper fraction to a proper fraction, and this is also a mixed number. All right, so today we went over how to subtract fractions, add fractions, change from a mixed number to an improper fraction in order to multiply fractions. And remember, we do not divide fractions, we actually multiply by the reciprocal. Thank you for watching, and there's a few more little things that we're going to cover in the next video about fractions, but those are the simple rules for adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing fractions. So in the next video, I will tell you a few more advanced things that we're going to do with fractions. And let me know if you have any questions on this video or fractions in general, or if there's anything else that you'd like me to demonstrate in order to help you with your knowledge about fractions. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.